just always want to get you in. What? What? I'm rockets. Who says we ain't in the building? Who says we ain't into building? We the Moorish master masons, architects for your children, reppin' Friday 13th like Jason without the killing. But we promote life, oh it's all about the feeling. And we invoke light, yo, we them light beings. Though you might see him on the block getting his portion, might be talking to cops, giving them caution. Occasionally wearing his fez when he's walking. See the turning heads, whispering, gawking. But he's locked in, and he's zoned out while we boxed in our own house.
We study the mystics, the adepts, the magi. Wisdom of the ancients can uncalcify us. Possible mission, free mental numbness. Extract the substance, rid minds of dumbness. Use the source, don't care what some purport. As we know by being told man knows not. Many before the floor, souls got bought. Placed in the devil's hands, ruling the seven lands. To dogma rituals, negro spirituals. Brainwash subliminal, keeps thinking to a minimal. They still criminal, in a world digital so pitiful. Mental survival so critical, it's visible. Can you see past writers' blocks? Hashtag zombies with waves of cyber thoughts. No need for cell phones, they speak through saw palms. It's nothing for alarm, chips and forearms.
Wind, brass and bass, such a beautiful serenade. Women feeding me grapes, I'm feeding the inward serenades. Whether the sky is clear or gray, rain when you hear a fake, giving life to seeds. Speaking through who not here today. Show you the future in a glimpse. We can always look to these hoes like hallucinatory pimps. Sun walked the desert, been more of a since I found God. Look back, used to see his prince. Forget being a prince, I'm a G. OD, grown man, no jokey. Deny it, you don't know me. Don't make me tap into the old me. That's like a couple hundred years. Walk around town with a couple hundred peers and release the peace of up fears. The sun gon' shine, so what tears? This young brother here just trying to get his third eye clear.
Dish deep, Moors don't sleep. Invest in your mind and body and unleash. Real life rap, spitting over tracks. Conscious thinking and living and then attack. Dish deep, Moors don't sleep. Invest in your mind and body and unleash. Real life rap, spitting over tracks. Conscious thinking and living and then attack.
So as the moon sets, the sun takes its place at schools on blocks, inspired spots, filled spaces. Peel back, rats, who got cases. Fire stain the corridors of flemo faces. Game changers, rule benders and no pretenders. Style enders, channel my vibe through the fabric optic lenses. Send a message to our veterans, soldiers up and get it in. We on our verge, we are merged, subliminal beings. Third eye seeing, still I participant unwilling.
They wanna break me, shape, bait, grade me. Rolling with my main G, double O-M-B. S-O-N is crazy for a minute that you think you could take me for a fool. Like a native to his land, being schooled by a foreign dude. You've mistaken me, spiders on the roof. In the dark tools, have you saying you've mistaken me? You better move or I'll mark it. My weapon is my tongue, your existence to target. Revealing all lies and deceit on the market. Genocide carried out in pockets, I knock it down, bulldozer. David to Goliath, it's an exposure. Some big cats ruling and it's getting closer to your downfall. Round up all your soldiers.
Little homie, I was seeking a fortune, tired of misfortune. I just wanted a portion, everything that I never had, though I needed my portion. Blowing like porcelain, haters fragile as porcelain. Getting broke, tired of being broke. How we acquire hope is the DJ skilling some dope, just to keep us afloat. Mind as deep as the boat, brain is a lethal weapon. We one need to elope. When I speak, I provoke. Walk in the room with my aura feeling like heavy smoke. Feel like when the levee broke under my Louis Philly, the semi-poke. Cause dirty cops will kill your boy, you ain't a joke. The cost of living, higher profits in private prison. These little girls are selling bodies just to pay tuition. These little niggas selling niggas just for bail condition. It's like the slavery never ended, where's the intermission? I wanna free the world, but I'm one man. A couple ones like me and make one plan. I wanna free the world, but I'm one man. A couple ones like me and one plan.
Yeah. Wisdom of the Womb, willofallah.com. Triple disc. Al Moroccan Canaanland Moors compilation CD. I mean, went in. It was a good session. Wisdom of the Womb, willofallah.com. Islam to all the Moors worldwide. Canaanland Moors class. Once again, wow, wisdom of the womb, you know, and Islam to everybody who got it, been bumping it, right? That's what it's about. So one of the mothers sent me a message yesterday about, you know, how things up here and all that, you know, madness going on right now. And I went and checked today about the madness, and they're talking about suspect in Quebec mosque attack quickly depicted as a Moroccan Muslim. He's a white nationalist. Glenn Grunwald Murtaza Hussein. So one of the things that you have to understand about Canaanland is, you know, in order to cloak the face of colonization, they push a word out here called diversity, right? So diversity means that, you know, when you watch TV, read the news or whatever like that, there has to have a, you know, visible minority in there so that people can't yell that these guys are racist, right? Because they have a history in Canaanland too, right? Just go check Unrepentant Kevin Annette. It's probably on YouTube still. Kevin Annette, Unrepentant. Just go watch that. European. Islam to all the Europeans who recognize that it's love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice time. Islam to all the Europeans who recognize that right now it's all about give back the indigenous people their stuff because Earth is mad. Forget black guys gonna get mad. Those guys got their guns taken and stuff like that. Right? Those guys put down their stuff. No revolution, nothing. Because Earth right now is doing what has to be done. Ancestors, unseen, is at work right now. People could think, don't forget, the only reason they brought in all this high-tech computer visual BS is to get you to think that certain stuff that you see is not real. Like when they're filming those spaceships flying across the city in Peru and whatever. Those guys made that up on the computer. Okay. Keep playing that it's not. They don't talk about Moroccan Muslims in Canaanland, just to let you know. Like if they're bringing up anybody, they're going to bring up Syria and the same people who are under the ban. If they're bringing up terrorist stuff, that's the people. The banned people. Nobody else is included other than the banned people list. So, Moors, we're Muslim. Noble Drew Ali said that we're Muslim and we have the Quran and all that stuff, then what are we going to do? What are you talking about? You're Muslim. What do you mean? What do you mean you're Muslim? What do you mean you're Moor? You're Moorish American, but you're Muslim. Those don't meet like that. Right? So we'll just go to why. And keep in mind, diversity, right? In our sense, we'll use it like, you know, diversity because we have supreme jurisdiction, they don't, so you have no jurisdiction. Because diversity, this is my land, not yours. That's why we put the European at the front of the video. To show that they know. The ones that, you know, have hearts and stuff like that, souls still, they know. Right? What has to happen. They know what has to take place in order to to stop the stuff that's going on. Real simple. Give back the stuff that you stole and then Earth will leave you alone. But nah. You want to play like they could own stuff. Okay, then Earth is gonna do what Earth does. You know what I mean? So stack up your little cans and stuff like we were saying. All you vegan people or whatever like that, don't get hyped, you know what I mean, in vegan life. Because when it comes down to somebody has to eat or not be here, you'll probably want something to eat. So don't get too hyped. right? And if you're going vegan, you better start on the fasting now, so you don't have to eat. So it's either you're gonna be don't have to eat, or eat what you could get in order to survive. So pick your side that you want to be on, because no middle ground when you're dealing with nature, when you're dealing with earth, when you're dealing with celestial forces and spaceships just flying over places. Now you think stuff's not done? So remember diversity. So this is, why do people say Muslim now instead of Muslim? By Yi and Christine Chen. Right? Diversity. You have to have the visible minority in there, which are only Asiatics, by the way. Like nobody else is classified as visible minority other than Asiatics, dark-skinned people. Right? Miss Chen is a student at the University of Washington and an intern at History News Network. Is it Muslim or Muslim? When baby boomers were children, it was Muslim. The American Heritage Dictionary noted Muslim is the form predominantly preferred in journalism and popular usage. Muslim is preferred by scholars and by English-speaking adherents of Islam. No more, M-O-R-E. Now, almost everybody uses Muslim. According to the Center of Non-Proliferation Studies, Muslim and Muslim are basically two different spellings for the same word. But the seemingly arbitrary choice of spellings is a sensitive subject for many followers of Islam, whereas for most English speakers, the two words are synonymous in meaning. The Arabic root of the two words are very different. A Muslim in Arabic means one who gives himself to God, and is by definition someone who adheres to Islam. By contrast, a Muslim in Arabic means one who is evil and unjust, when the word is pronounced as in its English Muslim with AZ. For others, the spelling differentiation is merely a linguistic matter, with the two spellings a result of variation transliteration methods. Both Muslim and Muslim are used as nouns, but some writers use Muslim when the word is employed as an adjective. Journalists switched to Muslim from Muslim in recent years under pressure from Islamic groups, but the use of the word Muslim is not entirely ceased. Established institutions which use the older form of the name have been reluctant to change. The American Muslim Foundation is still the American Muslim Foundation, much as the NAACP is still the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. The journal The Muslim World, published by the Hartford Seminary in Connecticut, is still the Muslim World. So they're going to try and attempt to smear your birthright. But if we're saying we're our foremothers and forefathers, then we're not Muslim. Because our foremothers and forefathers, they have nothing called that. If they were anything, they would be Muslim. Right? And Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, which we've been telling people out here since 2007, 2008, that we're the Moroccans. Why? Because Kanata, the place above so-called U.S, is Morocco. And the so-called U.S space is Morocco. And anybody who's not Asiatic is a foreigner here. And because they're foreign, they have to talk a certain way. Because their being foreign here means that they colonized. And if they colonize, that means they have everybody under brainwash who's saying that they think what they're saying is real. Like they're mad that Justin Trudeau is not just downright dissing Donald Trump like everybody else. He can't. Canada is the United States. It's one jurisdiction. What? You've been telling people. Why is he not mad? Why is he not talking out like everybody else? Why is he playing, well, you know, we have Canadian principles we're trying to stand on, and our allies, we need to, you know, work with our allies, you know, even though whatever. Yeah, allies nothing. It's one jurisdiction. It's all Morocco. Jack everybody's stuff. And then these people are playing around. Like they weren't told. They don't say Moroccan Muslim out here. They don't even come up in news. Why all of a sudden? Moroccan? Yeah, there's Moroccans out here. But trust me, not all of them are Muslim. I'm out here. There's not only Muslim Moroccans. They are dark skinned. Because diversity. Because why? Canada is an open door for anybody to come here. Why? Because it's Morocco. And everybody knows that when you're in Morocco, you're under the jurisdiction of the Moors. So you have free reign, do whatever you want once you're not violating nobody else. You put a store here, okay, I tell these people pay their little whatever, but I have a Moroccan stuff and I'm passing this down for generations. And they're doing that because nationality, birthrights, everybody knows that that's what it's about. Noble Drew Ali said, brothers from the east are going to come. They've came, been here, we're still playing around. Everybody else is uniting. Everybody else is standing up or whatever. And Negro, black, colored people classified, conscious, whatever. In so-called Canada and the United States, which is really Morocco, majority of those people lost their mind. And the place is going to hell because of them being ignorant of their true history. That everybody bit the bullet. Right? Everybody bit the bullet. And then you guys still not gonna get down with this because of some stuff you saw, heard somebody say about being more means that, you know, you're not more because by the pen of Sayyid al-Imam Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi, may Allah protect him, copyright 1980, revised 1988. Who is Noble Drew Ali? Who is he? No. Why is he asking the question in 1988, who is he? Who's Noble Drew Ali? A so-called Muslim, Islamic Hebrew. Right? 88. Who is Noble Drew Ali? Why even ask the question? Nobody knows. What do you mean nobody knows? That you had to write a book about it? And did all this stuff in the book, tying Noble Drew Ali to the Masons and all that stuff. Talking all this BS about Noble Drew Ali, it's not like this, that's Masonic and all that. Throwing nationality, birthrights, more science under the bus. for some pretend I did Muslim BS. Right? Let's put it out there. So, Hebrew Islam guys, Star of Davids with crescent moons and stuff like that, and playing around. Right? There they are. Everybody got it. It's not, it ain't no secret. Just let you know, everybody knows. Right? So use the whole 122 pages or whatever. Talk BS about Noble Drew Ali. Right? But then, in 1996, this is what the same Hebrew Islamic guys, this is what he said after about Noble Drew Ali, after talking BS, selling out people's birthright. The Holy Quran, Circle 7. The Moor Science Temple of America, deriving its power and authority from the great Quran of Muhammad to propagate the faith and extend the learning and truth of the great Prophet of Ali in America. The great Prophet of Ali in America. He knows that much? This is after all the BS. Went through all the different school, changed up dress, changed up name, whatever like that, and then finally emerged as the master teacher because he went through the school, so I guess he's master. Then come to find out he's not the master. There's a master before him. That's a prophet. Not just a prophet, but a prophet Ali. And then that's for America, not for across the Atlantic. To appoint and consecrate missionaries of the Prophet and to establish the faith of Muhammad in America. The faith of Muhammad. So if Moors' faith is the faith of Muhammad, then that would mean that they're not Muslim. Because Mohammedism, or being a Mohammedan, just like being a Muslim, has degrees. And you could be on the lowest degree, or you could be at the highest degree. And then that's just what's allowed to happen under the jurisdiction of the Moors, which is the exact same thing that Noble Drew Ali brought back, which is why that European came to the temple after the stock market crash looking for Noble Drew Ali, like, where's the guy? Because, you said take the money out the stuff and then the thing crashed. I just wanted to come and thank you, and Noble Drew Ali wasn't there. Same guys he went to ask murdered him. And they're telling the European, oh yeah, he's not here no more, Yeah, he left us, We're mourning. But you got a message or something? Oh yeah, I just wanted to thank him because he saved everything that I had by me listening to him. I was just listening. Went to buy some milk. He was just standing there talking about the bank's gonna crash and stuff like that. And I just went home and told my wife, I'm gonna take everything out. I'm gonna convert it into something else, and then as soon as I did that, everything crashed. And I'm so grateful for him saving me everything. I just came to thank him. He's not here. So he's really a prophet. He came to save the nations.
And the only people who don't want to be saved is Negro, black, colored people, who all their leaders came and told them Noble Drew Ali is the man. All this is Malachi York L, who's locked up right now, just because these jackasses call themselves Nuwapians don't study law. They want to play around with Nuwapianism. When their head guy is saying Noble Drew Ali is the great prophet of Ali that came to America. Their guy saying that. They wrote a book about it. Not just a book, but the Holy Quran took Noble Drew Ali's book and put it out again in honor of Noble Drew Ali. Whoever else he did that to, I don't think anyone. Anybody who follows so-called Malachi Z. York L, anybody who used to follow him, anybody who's playing around like they honor him. He said Noble Drew Ali is the prophet in America. How come you not? Like, why are you holding out from dealing with what Noble Drew Ali brought? 100%, just like how Moors do. How come? Your guy said that Noble Drew Ali is the great prophet of Ali in America, and his duty was to appoint and consecrate missionaries to spread the same message that he was spreading, which is exactly what these guys, head number one guy, is doing. Right? I don't know why I talk about Moroccan and Canaanland, because of Moors. That's why. Just like everywhere else that everybody thinks there's some separate jurisdiction than U.S. Everybody's they put a sister on the money over there, and then you got one here. They have a Dundas Square, which is a Times Square. They have a sister city which is not in Canaanland. Why would Canada have provinces? And those provinces have cities, and then the sister city of one of the cities in the province is not another city in the province. Why is it over there? Right? Well, they're playing people. And Justin Trudeau and Trump and whatever like that, and they're playing people. And Moore's been telling them, right? Trust me, we came up in all of this stuff. Came up in all of this. And came to one realization. Hey, all these guys are talking about Noble Drew Ali slick. Like, they're not really, they just slide his name like, let's just prove it. Let's just prove it. You know what they say? Don't talk about it, be about it. Let's just prove it. Make it easier.
I want to be very, very quick with this because I know you don't have a lot of time, but I have written you, I have written your son, Mustafa, I've written Ishmael, I've met Ishmael before, and I've been trying to get a meeting with him in regards to this information that I have from Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali mentions Master Farad Muhammad twice in his literature. He mentions a man named Ford. And in my temple, we teach that Master Farad Muhammad was in fact Noble Drew Ali's teacher. And I want to personally ask you, sir, what would you like me to do with this information? I've been wanting to get it over to you. I have the writings. I can read you what Noble Drew Ali said about Master Farad Muhammad And I just want the world to know this information. I believe in my heart that it would end so much confusion, so much hidden lies that have been going on since 1929, when the messenger was rolled up in 1931. As you know, there's been a lot of conflict between the Moorish Americans and the FOI, and it should not be, because they are both shot from the same bow. And I'm convicted.
Right? Now, the same vault that they're shot from is most definitely not. Most definitely not. The vault that they are talking about, Fard Muhammad and Noble Drew Ali got shot out, and then they're trying to make it seem like Fard Muhammad was the one that taught Noble Drew Ali. You know, when Fard was a member of Noble Drew Ali stuff. And when they try to, this is why it's so good that we had our Moorish publishers, etc., right, that documented certain things so that people don't get it twisted and try to jack energy and then run off and, you know what I mean, make a name for yourself or whatever like that without recognizing what the foundation is, right? Now we know for a fact that Fard Muhammad was David Ford. He came in with birthrights and got the L. And all that Fard Muhammad and all that BS stuff came later. Right? Ford L. Now, if Noble Drew Ali is referencing him, if he's Noble Drew Ali's teacher, then Noble Drew Ali would have referenced him in the writing as Ford L. Why would he just mention him as Ford? Why would he just say Ford? Ford said. What do you mean Ford said? If he's talking about Fard Muhammad, who was David Ford L., then the reference would have been Ford L. said something. Didn't say Ford L. said Ford. The reason why I said Ford, because the connection is, forget Fard Muhammad. He's a nobody. He's not no prophet that came and none of that stuff. Right? He's not no prophet. He was a member of Noble Drew Ali stuff. Member. He wasn't even in the Arab chamber. Right? The connection is Arnold Josiah Ford. This is the Ford that Noble Drew Ali was referencing. The Ford that has the Moorish turban, and then you can see at the top right there the tassel sticking out, so you know that he has the fez on underneath, or the kufi or whatever, but he has a tassel on it, so you already know. And this is Moorish Zionist Jews, Harlem's quote-unquote black Jews that they never want to call Moorish, which is another branch of the conscious community, whatever, that's telling these people that they're Moors and they don't want to hear. Malachi York L told them, Noble Drew Ali is the prophet, ain't nobody else. He's the guy. I'm rewriting his book, and in it I'm going to put an introduction to all you people who follow me. I'm telling you that Noble Drew Ali is the man. It's not me. And you guys chasing this guy. And got him locked up because you guys treating him like he's some kind of messiah or some BS. He's an R&B singer. Now you make an R&B singer your prophet. Right? Just like these other guys. How they making some pale guy their prophet when they have a prophet that came to them? And again, the connection, this is the Ford that's being referenced. And you know, they don't like to put title of stuff out there because then you can go research. So in the industrious acts of Muslims, not Muslims, The Industrious Acts of Muslims by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So caller, Mr. Caller, that's calling in, right? I want to bring up Noble Drew Ali like you know something about Noble Drew Ali. No, you've been left in the dark by your own guys pushing some Fard. And Fard ain't nobody. Elijah Muhammad ain't nobody. Those people are later, super later. Garvey gets supreme more honors than Elijah Muhammad. Peace be unto him, who was also the forerunner. Now I try to make this connection with people who sold out Noble Drew Ali and then want to boost them up like, oh yeah, give them some honors. They don't get no honors. They sold out the birthright. Called people black for 40, 50 years. 1930s they've been around. Had feathers and all that. Straight took the 101 questionnaire, question and answer idea, jacked it, made supreme lessons to talk about they made up something. When they're Moors, they've been Moors from the start of their stuff. And people playing around. Like Noble Drew Ali's not the man. There's nobody else. You want somebody that's coming to save you or whatever? No, leave Jesus alone. Leave Muhammad alone. Leave Buddha alone. Leave Confucius. Leave Quetzalcoatl. Leave whoever the hell you think is the prophet, that you're a prophet and all that stuff. The entire world is honoring Noble Drew Ali and his principles. Except Negro Black conscious clowns in U.S. Corporation and Canada Corporation who think that that's countries that's against them, and then they're cursing out their own birthright, talking about America must go down and stuff like that when that's your birthright. American is Al Moroccan, which is a nationality. And it's throwing their nationality away. I want to know why they have problems. You have problems because you throw away your nationality. So it's the industrious acts of the Muslims. Remember, Glenn Greenwald and Murtaza Hussein are using the journalist's perspective. Remember with the article with the Muslim. There's a journalist way, and then there's a scholar way. The journalist people say Muslim, which is complete denationalization on a mass scale. And then all those people are, yeah, we're Muslim. They're biased against Muslims and all this type of stuff. When that's a fraud. Because either you're Muslim or, you're pagan. That's all it is. Either you're upright or you're devil. And the one that came and told you be upright, Noble Drew Ali, gave you everything it takes to save a nation. And then told you, hey, take this thing and go save yourself because there ain't nobody coming. No, there's nobody coming. Nobody. What he brought and his teachings is all that there is. I'm telling people. It's not opinion. We show you two heavy sources. Right? The Moorish Hebrews, who had direct connection with Noble Drew Ali. If Noble Drew Ali is going to be quoting Rabbi Ford, if he's quoting him, then he was either studying with him, studying him, or they were friends. And then showing you that it's not Ford. Ain't nobody, it ain't Ford, it ain't Fard, it ain't Elijah. Right? It ain't them. They're not the guys. Noble Drew Ali is still the one. Right? And then he's the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 5. And then from 6, you have Fard, then Elijah, then Benamim, and whoever else. As far as conscious community, whatever goes. Outside of people who say that they're Moorish American, Moorish Jews have a nationality and they're not categorized as the people who don't know themselves in the confused world over there. You think because they wrap their head, that means that they know themselves. Their name's John. And then they're going to pull out something to show you that, yeah, I'm John. That comes from the same corporation who they're fighting, who they're fighting against. They don't want them, and they're doing this and they're doing that. They're violating their rights or whatever. But you got their card in your pocket. What do you want? You want to be the slave, but have master respect? It don't work like that. That's not how it goes. All these people told him. Muslim, Moroccan, narcissistic personality disorder, page 327. Narcissistic personality disorder 301.81. A pervasive pattern of grandioso in fantasy or behavior, need for admiration, and lack of empathy, beginning by early childhood and present in a variety of contexts as indicated by 5 or more of the following. Has grandioso sense of self-importance, exaggerates achievements and talents, expects to be recognized as superior without commensurate achievements. Right? Like we put on the record. Thanks for doing your best to uplift us and tell us the truth and stuff like that. We appreciate you attempting. But all these people who try to be the prophet are the same narcissistic personality disorder people who just don't want to give Noble Drew Ali his props. They're going to give everybody props. They're going to give everybody props. When it comes to Noble Drew Ali, just slide him some props. Make you think that it's not them. Right? Just like I was telling this Moor. When you have a Supreme Grand Sheikh, and I saw the pictures myself, right? It wasn't even a thought in my mind to take the picture, right? I saw the picture myself. When you have Supreme Grand Sheiks or whatever, talking about they're walking down the street and another Moorish American is holding an umbrella over them as they walk, that's that narcissistic personality disorder. Right? Remember, what do you think? I need finance and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. So if Noble Drew Ali has the fame and nobility, then anybody else who assumes to have it is in a fantasy world. They want to be the prophet so bad. They want to be the head leader guy so bad that they sold out people's birthright to be the head guy. To be able to be in the seat 50, 60, 70 years. Talking BS. Not telling these people about their nationality and birthright. But then sneak giving props to Noble Drew Ali like that means something. When these people are dying out here because they don't know about their birthright.
Because I have these writings in front of me. I have this information. This is not something that...
What is your name again?
What is your name, bro?
Ahmadi Muhammad.
Status is the first issue, right? The court is outside, right? Court is not in a building somewhere. Court is outside of those places. So anywhere is court. Especially when a Moor's there. Because keep in mind, certain people that are talking are Moorish American. Even though they're naturalized. They're Moorish American. You know they're naturalized. At least they naturalized and said Moorish American. So Moorish American talking right now. Right? And the Moorish American asked the so-called Negro, black, colored, whatever, you know, what's your name? Why? Put it on the record, because status is the first issue. That's Noble Drew Ali's teachings. That's why he said, be yourself. Yourself is who your ancient forefathers and foremothers were, without doubt or contradiction, the Moors. So that means be yourself. That means status is the first issue. That means that's the importance of status. The importance of status is that you're not Negro, black, colored. You're Moors. But they don't teach that part. They just teach. Yeah, Noble Drew Ali came and he wore the red fez and the Moor Science Temple, the teachings of the... But they leave out the key part, that you're not Negro, black, colored. That you're Moors, and you have a nationality, Moorish American, which really means you're Moroccan, because U.S. and Canada is a fiction. It's an illusion, just like these guys' grandiosity. I like that word. Their grandiosity.
Ahmadi, my dear brother, I wish you would come and we'll sit and talk and hear what it is you have to say. I will say this to you, sir, that the first time that Elijah Muhammad came to New York after I had accepted Islam, Brother Malcolm was alive at that time and his New York minister. The first, it was October 1956. I'm sorry, 55. Elijah Muhammad spoke on two men who were the forerunners to him. Noble Drew Ali was number one.
Right? So, not was number one, is number one. Not Noble Drew Ali was number one. As much times as he says honors to Elijah Muhammad, 5 times that they should say honors to Noble Drew Ali. But, you know, all their lectures should be about nationality and birthrights. If you're going to say, on the record, status is, you know, and because of his status, he didn't have to put his on the record. Because he already put it on the record. That's how he got back into the country. Even though it was naturalization, all these people know they want to be kingpin. Instead of just give people their birthright. Don't forget the whole crew. Anybody after Noble Drew Ali that didn't just give honors, playing around with the birthright, that half people go through, waste their time going through these schools when they could just be studying more science and get all that info anyway. Imagine that. All the time these people put into all these different schools of thought, learn their 800 million degrees or whatever. They could study their nationality and birthrights and get that in the time. Because once your tassel swings 360 degrees and your turban has a pyramid right here, that means you're in tune with the ancestors. Don't try any stuff because they don't play when they get back at you. Don't think you can, you know, start up. Don't think you can start up your little campaign, rape people of their birthright to live because, you know, we're more and we're not supposed to work. Well, if you're not working for yourself, you're working for somebody. Regardless, you're working. Even if you're on the corner peddling, you're working. You're still putting in hours. Right? Everybody's been told. Micmac meaning, Egyptian meaning. Right. Now, let's really look at heaven. Heaven, hieroglyphic, ancient Egyptian, and Micmac, Aboriginal indigenous, over here. Heaven is a 5-point star. The Noble Drew Ali brought us our 5-point star back, which when we check the culture, it's also heaven. On top of each point meaning love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, when you go before Noble Drew Ali, that star is heaven. Great seal, the all-seeing eye. Micmac, the triangle. And then they put an eye inside that triangle, and then in ancient Egypt it means the exalted one. And exalted, well, you know that the capstone will be exalted in relation to the rest of the pyramid, because the capstone is the exalted one. And keep in mind, the Great Seal Pyramid, the eye, which is Micmac. So if pyramid means God, then that's Micmac and ancient Egyptians, and then Moors, represent the Great Seal, that means Moors know that they're not just Muslim, but they're Gnostic. They're also honors of nature, which is Aboriginal indigenous culture, which, when you really think about it, everybody honors nature. The Egyptians, the Hebrews, all you go down the line. Well, we know that as more science. Again, why would they have crescent and star in hieroglyphs? Why? Why have a crescent, moon, and a star? Why? This is before Islam. So Islam got their stuff from somewhere. Oh, where did they get it from? From their neighbors, the Egyptians. And just like somebody said in the chat, don't forget Professor Drew was the Egyptian adept. Just put it in Google Images. Professor Drew, Egyptian adept. And you will see that he was well versed. And his purpose was to come here and teach us the truth about our nationality and birthrights, to the point where they're going to go out of their way to make sure, just like using Muslim with Moroccan when ain't no Moroccans are Muslim. Impossible. If they're Moroccan, they're Muslim. But if they say Muslim, that's giving up too much. So just like at history.org, New Mexico history.org, and they're talking about Esteban the Moor. Esteban the Moor. But throughout the article, they keep just pushing Esteban, 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 and leaving the Moor off. Now, people are going to get lost in the title. But they're not looking at the title as important. When the title, right, the title is supposed to do something. Moors and Masonry, that does something to you when you hear that title. Something happens when you hear that title. It's different, especially for Moors, because there's been so much that was taken away that has to be presented, and the only way it's going to be presented is when Moors present it, which is why we present Islam to Mantis Views 29. Why they present. Which is why RVB Publications and Khalifa Media present. This is why Cosmo L Show. Because we're not relying on anybody to tell our stuff. If we don't tell it, nobody's going to tell it. But keep in mind that many of your own who are supposed to tell it and should be telling it aren't telling it. Still, 2017, they're still playing games with the birthright. They're still jokey with it. We already know the journalists are going to do whatever they're supposed to do. But we're talking about the people who have all the keys with regard to this information that Moors have been trying to relate to people. Right? Like we just started telling people that they're Moors. After people took this and hid it away and pretend like this is some Islamic church for Moors, hiding with this. Right? It's your birthright. I know I got my birthright. If you want to do with your birthright, that's all up to you. But I would strongly suggest taking nationality and birthrights a little bit more serious than you've been told to take it. Because these people are playing you out your stuff.
Number 1, and Marcus Garvey was number 2. He said to us, that was the first big speech outside of a temple that I heard Elijah Muhammad speak. And on that day, he lifted Noble Drew Ali.
No. Remember, keep in mind that even Elijah Muhammad's parents were UNIA members. So if his parents were UNIA members, he has double obligation. He has obligation to Noble Drew Ali and obligation to Marcus Garvey before Nation of Islam. Double obligation. And sold out the birthright to keep all these people black, marching around and stuff like that, but they're black, no nationality, stateless. And let's just say he did carry it on and kept it just to the NOI, and only they have nationality cards, and they're told not to talk about it and stuff like that. Don't talk to Moors, don't talk to whatever about it. You just keep being black Muslims or whatever. Even if they did that, it's a violation. Because Drew Ali took away all the secrets, so who is he to keep them and not tell these people about their birthright? Like, why not tell them about their birthright? Because you can march for Trump all you want. Be mad that he's president and all that BS all you want. Get scared and want to leave and all this type of stupid stuff. Yeah. Do it all you want. But if you're not going to march for these sellouts, go to their house and march. Ask them why they never taught you about nationality and birthrights. Divert your energy in the right direction at people who you should be mad at. Instead of getting mad at people who are doing stuff that's none of your goddamn business. What the hell does U.S. Corporation have to do with anybody who's Moorish American? That you would even care what they're doing. They care what Canada does. Like, what do you mean you care? Like, what? Why do you care? That's a private corporation. Yeah, we have a birthright that we have to defend. We have a birthright. That's how you get free health care. Because you have a birthright. That documented fact, if you're Aboriginal and Indigenous, then Europeans have an obligation to you because they stole your stuff. It's just, we want big stuff. We want to hit it in one swing. Nobody wants to put in the tedious task of reversing this karmic debt that we got on our own, that we got to get rid of. Ain't nobody coming to help us with that. Better face the facts that people been sold you out and you keep backing them sellouts. That's why nothing happens. That's why there's Moors trying to get rich and do birth certificate BS and get checks and lost in the fiction. All because 1, listening to sellouts, 2, not checking what Noble Drew Ali said himself, and then triple checking to know that ain't no Fard Muhammad that Noble Drew Ali is talking about. He's talking about Rabbi Ford, because there's a direct connection. Like, he learned from them. Why wouldn't he? He learned from everybody else. But you didn't learn from Ford. Ford ain't nobody. How's he back row in convention picture where he's somebody? So there's some questions. See what's good with those. So we get an email telling people that it's crazy out here. Like, if you're not careful, your own is going to put you in slavery. Now these same Moors who we had tribunal for, they don't have GoFundMe now. And again, people send us info because it's important that the folly is put on Front Street so everybody knows don't walk there. So any GoFundMe from any Moors talking about helping indigenous women and stuff like that, leave those alone. Because they're trying every weak mind to overthrow the true foundation that has been laid. All these distractions going on and people getting nervous. Don't throw away your birthright. I just want to put this comment out there that one of our young master teachers, Sail Ali Bey, had responded to somebody in one of the YouTube stuff. In response to the brother speaking on Revelations, we should look at what the Bible states in its original tongue to truly know what lessons were taught in full. For example, the word God means to invoke, not a divine being living in the sky. It's because King James and his translators sought to invoke confusion and hide the true knowledge from the people in order to maintain control. Yahweh is the creator of everything, which is not a true person, but rather an invoking power which lives within oneself. In addition, I believe that the verse you reference states that we must not look at this like we are free from karma, because some people in this day and age think they are invincible and untouchable. Islam more. Right? So just to show you that, when folly presents itself, there should be reference to diverting people's attention from these things. Because like we've been saying from the beginning, from the start, is nothing matters if Noble Drew Ali is not in the forefront. Nothing matters. You can say whatever you want, it means nothing. I wasn't talking about some worship some man and all that stupid stuff like that. It's called honor for what the man did and the information that he presented. The specificity of the information. with regard to who we are as a people. Not only so we could know in our mind, but also so that once we know, it will cause a change in our environment. No, without a question. Right. We got a question from Raw Fly and Feather Bay. Islam, thanks for taking time out to speak with me. I've been searching and came across your name as both the real deal and respectable person. Clearly you are honoring your mothers and fathers and would like to join the Moorish Science Temple and USAR. Well, if USAR is United States of America Republic, which are some Moors who I think you're referring to, we're not affiliated with those Moors because we're not creating some jurisdiction for Moors. There's already a jurisdiction for Moors called Morocco. And all you have to do is proclaim your nationality. And once you proclaim your nationality, you declare that to the world. You know it's done for you already, but you know you have to take some type of responsibility. Right? Then you're Moorish American. If you want to join the Moorish Science Temple of America for Canaanland, we have honorary membership for people who are outside of Canaanland, and then we have actual temple membership for people who are within Canaanland that want to be part of a Moorish Science Temple, you know, pay their dues, keep up with studying, making sure that you're, you know, doing your missionary work of getting this word out, right? We have all the resources that you need, books, DVDs, whatever it is that you want to get started in putting out the work that has to be done by everybody who says that they're Moorish American, whatever, so that, you know, our people could learn this information. Ain't nothing else mean anything. What do you know? You know about yourself? If you know about yourself, you know that Moorish Science Temple of America is an organization. And then that's a degree. It's a religious corporation. Then that's a degree. And there's a consulate, and then that's a degree. There's a school, and then that's a degree. Because, you know, there's many facets. And that's just of Moorish Science Temple, which in itself is a degree. The lowest degree. Because there's Moorish Holy Temple of Science degree, and Moorish Divine National Movement degree, Moorish Nation degree. I mean, they go on forever. Because you can't get caught up with joining stuff. If you're joining something, it's because they have something to offer you. You're not joining something just to get nothing. Like people who are in Canaanland that join the Moorish Science Temple, they come get their stuff sealed, whatever it is that they're dealing with, you know what I mean, witnessed, because they're a member. You know what I mean? That's, you know, membership has its privileges. But, you know, we're not looking at that as rights. It's not the same. You know, membership has its privileges, but prior to those memberships, you have rights, God-given rights, inalienable rights that nobody can take or sell or play around with you about. Come join so we can give you the right to, you know, travel and the right to. No, that's not. If they're doing that, they're supposed to be administering. Just like why you give a nationality card. If a nationality card is given, It's because people don't have a nationality and they need to prove their nationality. An organization can't do that. Organization can't make someone a national. A nation can exist and you can be a part of that. But organization doesn't make you that. And it's just like with the brother that we were talking about with the name of, they spell the name on the instrument with different letters on two different instruments. So two different instruments, they spelled the name, one spelled right, one spelled wrong. Right? That's their instrument. That has nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with what people have been calling you and all that. Right? And with the brother, again, common sense. Come before book sense, When you use your common sense, everything makes sense. Don't use your common sense, then you get caught up joining stuff, getting cards from them, and then you go somewhere and, stuff's not working right. Because you yourself didn't know who you are before you even got the card, before you even joined whatever. Because trust me, if you know yourself, 95% of the time you wouldn't join some stuff that you thought you should have joined, or let me go join that. You wouldn't. But if you know yourself, things vibrate. And you could feel the vibration of something when it's good for you, or maybe you don't want to mess with him. His vibe is just messed up. And you take that as a sign from the ancestors, because you're in tune with the vibrations. Now Rastaman vibration, right? It's all about the vibrations. We have to be in tune. And the only way you're going to be in tune is if you have a nationality. And then know what your nationality is. And know it historically. Not just know because, you're told somewhere. But actually taking the time. Putting some time in. Right? Just like some of the Moors from Brother Abdullah's last class, right? Went nuts when they saw the book that he referenced is this big. And this is only one volume, right? History of the Moorish Empire. Now, if you're kind of iffy on, are you a Moor? I don't know if I'm a Moor or whatever like that. I don't know if we're Moorish or whatever. Just ask the question to yourself right now. Why would a man write a book? S.P. Scott. Why would he write a book? This is one volume. And all the volumes are just like this. Of just the Moorish Empire only in this book. It's just history of Moorish Empire only. Said that we're cracking jokes because we're like, no way. If Abdullah read all of this, he's on another plane. No way he read all this. To be able to put out this. No way. This was just another one that, you skim or whatever, and there's some heavy stuff in there. You read, 3/4 of this or something. But that's not a finishing book. like on that level. That's not a finishing book. No way. Right? So there's all this history out there of our stuff. Our history. You know, again, like we're saying, you know, you're not gonna know it all, but there's enough that what you find out should make you realize that somebody's been playing you. If you're not, you know, saying that you're Moors and you're, you know, you're not hearing that and whatever. And for those people who are, you know, like next to the fence, almost ready to jump over, come on, just jump over. All the people on the fence, just jump over. Don't even waste time. You know what I mean? If you're of the mentality that, oh my God, Trump and you better proclaim your nationality ASAP. Moorish American. Go to rvbaypublications.com and start studying. If you're of that mentality, that has something to do with you, I would suggest Canadian people and all that stuff, immediately start reserving your rights on everything that you sign with these people, mortgage, checks, you know, money orders, initial here, whatever, reserve your rights. You Negro, black, colored, think you're conscious because you have, you know what I mean, Circle 7 tattooed on your body or something like that. You better have a nationality and you better start vibrating on the frequency of your ancient foremothers and forefathers. Because it's at that point right now, right? Because remember, it's not about what physically is going on. Those things are to distract you from what's spiritually going on. Just like everybody was talking about that crescent and star last night. It was just something amongst people who were vibrating on the same frequency. People, you know, and then you had the follow fashion people who try to make it something prophetic and stuff like that, you know, the same narcissistic stuff, right? Try to make it like they found out something. You know, that's nature. That happens. That's something planned. It's something planned. Just like certain people knew, you know what I mean, during a certain moon to unite, you know, the allies and feeling the spirit of Noble Drew Ali and Elijah Muhammad and stuff like that. It's frequency time right now. Yeah, we gotta, you know, certain things we gotta get done. Yeah, the most definite earth plane has to happen. You know what I mean? Not neglecting the earth plane. Don't get it messed up. But priority is mind. Priority is beyond the physical plane right now. Trust that. Priority is beyond the physical plane. Vorn Garcia L. We are Moorish Americans. If someone from modern day Africa, East Amexem, Europe, India, etc. are citizens here and wish to nationalize, do they have to go back to where they are from and initiate a process like the more Americans are doing, tying themselves back to the land of birth? Or could they call themselves more Tibetan American, more Cameroon American, etc. by nationalizing here? Well, remember that, keep in mind, their dominion and inhabitation extended from north, east, and southwest Africa. Right? Northeast and southwest. From northeast to southwest. Anything in that jurisdiction. across the Great Atlantis, which is landmass again, which is a colony of some people from the Northeast. And across the Great Atlantis, even onto the present North, South, Central America, and also the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. Now that's Noble Drew Ali himself, right? Now this is why in the Moorish literature, or in the oral statements, pardon me, when they talk about all these different nationalities joining the Moorish Science Temple, because these individuals are Asiatic, because they're Asiatic, they have a right. Because once you can't prove you can't prove citizenship when you're in Morocco. Guess what you are? Moroccan. Ipso jure. Moorish subject. More subject. This is why the so-called Chinese man, right, Asiatic, that if you watch the mortgage classes that Taj Truth Bay's done, when he's talking about why they have the permit on the RV Bay site, because the permit comes from him building somebody's house or whatever like that, and then putting up the permit, and then them coming and trying to do their whatever, and then the Asiatic goes to court as a Moorish American, because he's over here now. If so, jure goes to court with his Asiatic name, with El Bay or whatever on it, goes to court, beats the case. He's Asiatic, right? So if they say Tibetan American, they don't have to put more on there, because American means Moroccan. So they're Tibetan Moroccan, Cameroon Moroccan, because they're in Morocco. And Morocco is bigger jurisdiction than the kingdom over there. Not kingdom. We're not talking about that place over there on the continent that people like to point to and then say pale Arabs and stuff like that and start talking BS about they're not Moors. We're talking about the empire, which if they're part of the empire, which again is God or an invocation, because that's how it's going to be right now. Why, like, does there wonder how come, even if U.S, let's say they were selling land, let's say it wasn't paper and they were selling land, right, from here to China or whatever, why could China come and buy here? Now, this is not according to what's taught. Over here has nothing to do with Asia. Why would they want to buy here? They're not building nothing, a bridge from China all the way here. No, I don't think they're doing that. Because all Asia. It's a documented fact. historical. It's all Asia. So they have claim. They're Asiatic. But they can't come here with their narcissistic BS or whatever and try to pull the European stuff. But colonize the colonized. They colonized the colonized. Because some of y'all were. You already know what you guys got when you came here. Because the majority of y'all look like us when you came here. You know what Angkor Wat and all that stuff. You ain't gonna try to pull no stuff on us again like these guys pulled that we're not Moors, we're black and all that. Don't even try. It ain't happening. Because people now know who they are. Even the so-called, Chinese or Indian or whoever people, they're going back to their Sri Lankan Moors. Hindustani Moors. Because it's that time. Go look down south. Do you think that they're about to yield to some corpse? Just watch. See how fast they unite. All those South American countries. See how fast that they unite. And we're up here playing BS. We don't want to be Moroccan because some guy in a lecture said some BS about Moors. After a Moor nationalizes here via proclamation and name declaration, would you advise them to use some of the U.S. corporate tools, credit card, passport, diploma, in their free national name in order to navigate a bit better, or just go hard and use the strong name and refute any negative claims that may come to it? Can you expand on this? Maybe share some experiences. Common sense come before book sense, So, perfect example. Brother Lanray Obey. Brother Lanray Obey knows that he's Moorish American. He knows that he's Moorish American. He's from over there though. Right? He's here. Anything he does here is free national name. Anything that he has, that he's been doing, that, out of private necessity, he has to do this thing. He's doing it with strict reservation of his rights. Making sure that he's putting it on the record that anything that's being signed is for some corpse, but that's not me. I'm who I am. But this is what you guys want? Cool, no problem. Sign the stuff, here's the stuff. And you carry on with having both the documents. You better have your rights reserved on it though, because that's what's gonna back you from saying, I'm not using that one. I'm reverting to my nationality now. So whatever it is that's reserved rights on, and you're using it, let's say, again, with the example, license. Because of reservation of rights, you get stopped, you can give both of them. Because you're exercising your right to travel, but you're also under threat, duress, and coercion. And if you are in your own land, you have a right to contract with whoever you want to. Corporation, real people, artificial people. But remember that this is birthright before anything else. And it's wise that after a Moor nationalizes via proclamation and name declaration, proper public notice, that they go study. Don't go out there trying to do stuff, switch stuff, change stuff, do this and do that with zero knowledge. You either better have been studying prior to getting proclamation and name declaration papers, or after you get those, you put them in a safe place and you go study. We say a year, 2 years before you want to talk about change stuff. But in the interim, reserve your rights. Anything that they say sign, anything that they say put your name here or whatever, anything, I don't care what it is. On the line, you write all rights reserved, and then you sign over that. Or you get the stamp and you stamp the paper, your all rights reserved, and then you sign over that. And, common sense come before book sense, Right? We always use the example. Guy drives bus. And then, that's how he's been driving bus for 40 years. Day before retirement and get the pension payout and all that stuff, found out about nationality. Said, oh my God, I don't want to be the straw no more. And then said, dissolve everything, forget all that stuff. And then he's trying to get it as a Moor and they're not giving it. Well, you were contracted for 50 years as artificial entity. What you should have did was get the stuff as the artificial entity, nationalize, and then take everything that the artificial entity has and then put that in trust under a free national name, so now they can't get it. But no, because you use book sense before common sense, you mess up yourself. So, use your goddamn common sense. This is your birthright. So only you know if, talk about nationality, at your job, and then they fire you, and then you get a divorce because your wife didn't get the mink jacket that she was supposed to get, or your husband didn't get his stuff, his drill set, because you lost your job and stuff like that. That's not. Don't put that on us, because we say proclaim your nationality. You went proclaiming, you didn't study. We also said study 3 times, like Noble Drew Ali said. And then after that, you study that, then study yourself. This is all before you go out there and play like you're a Moor, because, a fez came in a box. And you get excited. Trump's in. Make sure you know what the hell you're doing. Make sure you know what you're doing. Right? This is not nothing to play with. Like Wu-Tang, this ain't nothing to with. Slow your roll. This is about changing your mindset so you can change your conditions. This is not about changing your conditions. It doesn't work like that. Because if you go that way, if you go the way of Moorish nationality is about changing my conditions first, you might become an opportunist and then sell your people out because you saw the benefit of it. You didn't see the value. You only saw the benefit. You didn't see the value of nationality and birthrights. Right? You got blinded by the fame and nobility that Noble Drew Ali had. He was able to go across the world. Like they have nothing to but if we just sit back and we look at this thing, this guy went around the world. They fly, take a boat. He's in North Carolina, Cherokee, whatever like that. Where do you get money to go on a boat. Like, is he connected to something that's bigger than him? Like, who was he around that he got to leave the country, go to India and all these places, go study? They're not talking about today times when you just go online, put a credit card number and you go fly somewhere. Right? It's really impossible to fathom, but recognizing that, well, he must be a great man because, you know, all these people who we thought were the great guys, everybody knows who he is, but nobody talks about him. But everybody knows who he is. There must be something about this individual. There has to be something. And it's that he brought you the nationality and birthrights, but he also brought many other things that you need to take heed to. Because he said every word that he says is spirit. So you better heed what he said. You don't want to heed what he said, and then you want to go do madness. Get caught up and then get mad at birthrights. Don't get mad at birthrights, get mad at self. Sister Phoebe Ray Bay. Islam. If a Moor is not a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, how can they tie into the Moorish Divine and National Movement? Well, one, by recognizing that, again, Noble Drew Ali came and he said certain things, right? Noble Drew Ali told the Moors that you are Moorish Americans because you are descendants of Moroccans born in America. So because you're a descendant of Moroccan born in America, Moorish Science Temple of America has nothing to do with that. Moorish Divine National Movement has nothing to do with that. That's nationality and birthrights. Now, you know, Moorish Divine National Movement has existing entities that assist with tying yourself to Moorish Science Temple of America, Noble Drew Ali, and all that. Right? And you know, we're one, Canaanland Moors. We have honorary membership for individuals who are outside of Canaanland. Right? That you know, we don't need anything from you. All you do is fill out a form and we'll send you confirmation that you're a member. You know, it would assist yourself and us as a whole if you support in some kind of way, you know what I mean, from the class or whatever, right? You know, give your energy, you know what I mean? Put your focus toward this positive focus only, please. You know. There's Asbury Park, Grand Chief Nature El Bay, being a member of his temple. There's Alim El Bay, Moorish Holy Temple of Science. You know, tie yourself to that. You know, that doesn't get mentioned a lot. You know, you might not hear Moorish Holy Temple of Science a lot, but you know, Alim Bay is Grand Chief of that. Moorish Heritage and History School. You know, they're a branch of people that studied under Noble Drew Ali that are part of different organizations, you know, associations, Great Seal, Moorish Science Temple, whatever, that, you know, been doing their own thing as far as getting the information out. But, you know, not straying from the Prophet, not straying from the principles, not straying from the lessons, right? Yeah, that's pretty much where you can have a nucleus and then branch out from there. Because, you know, those will give you other places to go and get information that's credible, right? So there's always a way to tie. It's just getting around the right people that have the right information that would just tell you, hey, let me get your USB drive there for a second. And load you up with enough stuff to last you 10 years that you don't have to worry about go join some stuff. You have no time for that. Am I a Moor if I haven't put in paperwork? Yes, you are a Moor. The issue is we've been classified as Negro, Black, Colored, and all this African, Canadian, whatever stuff, right? Which have nothing to do with our identity. All those are ward tags for property. So, like tag on your shirt, tag. That's all you are, just a tag on a shirt, right? Shirt called mobocracy. So, you're not that. You're a Moor. Yeah, you're a Moor that might have studied Hebrew, that might have studied Islam, that might have studied Judaism, that might have studied, you know, but you're a Moor. Right? The paperwork part is you putting these people on notice that you're no longer their tag. That's what the paperwork's for. To put these people on notice. But remember, paperwork is written, so it still has to do with how much you know. It's not the paperwork. It's not because you have that paper. It's because you have the knowledge that you put on the paperwork. Is why paperwork would mean anything. Other than that, paperwork doesn't mean anything. Paperwork only means something if you're taking what's on your mind and putting it on paper. Or you're taking multiple sources of paperwork and creating something for yourself or whatever. You know, paperwork doesn't just work like, hey, paperwork, and then you just get it. And then if you're not digesting it, if you're not putting your own ritual on it, then it's just papers. Right? Because remember, this is a science. It's more science that we're dealing with. We're not dealing with just Moorish pray. Right? Can paperwork save you? No. Paperwork cannot save you. Well, yes and no. In some instances, paperwork can save you. Right? There's been instances where people submitted paperwork, and because they submitted paperwork, that proved a jurisdiction didn't have jurisdiction, and they were able to, you know, cancel any claims that were made against them because of paperwork. So yes, in some cases, paperwork can save you, but in the all and be all, no, paperwork can't save you. It doesn't work like that. Right? Knowledge is what saves you. People die for lack of knowledge. So, okay, get knowledge and you won't die. Common sense was made before book sense, you know. Why do y'all deny being black? Well, we're not y'all, we're Moors, first of all, right? Because I know that these are barbershop questions, you know what I mean? People in the chair, you know what I mean? Throwing stuff out there. So, we're not y'alls. We're not y'alls. We're Moors. And why do Moors deny being black? Because we know that if you look in a mirror and you look at yourself, you'll see that you're brown. Various shades of brown. And clearly you're not black. If we go to law, so-called black people have no rights. In law, there's a term called civiliter mortuus, which means dead in the eyes of the law, right? One who's lost all their civil capacities. So if you classify yourself as black, what you're really saying is that you're civiliter mortuus. You're dead in the eyes of the law. That's why the Black Panther guys weren't able to hold their guns, because they're dead in the eyes of the law. So because they're dead in the eyes of the law, which means that they're a tag or property, property can't own property. Especially if property is trying to own property in a jurisdiction where there's a sign that says no property here. Right? So there's many reasons why we're not black. That's just two. Civil little mortus and look in a mirror. Common sense was made before book sense, you know. Who said that statutes are not law for the people? The Constitution said that statutes are not law for the people. Let's go to the Constitution, Article 6, and just read Article 6. And it tells you that anything at all, anything whatsoever, anything that somebody tries to say is law, but is not in harmony with the Constitution, is notwithstanding, has no legs to stand on. Right? No legs to stand on. Zero legs. Statutes are in a wheelchair. Ordinances are in a wheelchair. They have no legs to stand on. So it's not law. How are we not United States citizens? Again, because United States is a corporation. Europeans have you thinking that United States citizens are Americans, which are Europeans, and people that are born here, they're American. We can't be citizens of a corporation because corporations have employees, not citizens. Corporations have employees, not citizens. Right? And civilians are ones who know the law. So, us being United States citizens is not the same as Chinese or whoever being United States citizen, because they have a nationality. Our people don't. And as Moors, if we're nationals, we predate citizens by millions of years. Because we're the Aboriginal and Indigenous people here, so we don't have to be citizens of anything. We're nationals. We have our own jurisdiction. Red flag, green 5-point star. We don't need to be U.S. citizens, United States citizens, United States of America citizens, or any other citizens. Because we're nationals. Moors are not from the United States, but from Morocco in Africa. Yes, Moors are not from the United States. They are from Morocco, which is in Africa, which is America. Because over there, that's South Asia over there. That's Morocco of South Asia. Morocco of Africa is over here. Egypt of Africa is over here. Moab of Africa is over here. Over there, South Asia. And North Asia. And over here, South America, North America. Common sense was made before book sense, you know. Before we Oh, one more question. When folks get locked up, where are the Moors that are teaching this sovereignty crap? Why don't they get those idiots that listen to them out of jail? Well, majority of Moors who are locked up right now, majority of Moors who are locked up, is, as far as with regard to the nationality aspect and all that, the Moors who are locked up right now are under colorable activities by people who have stole their birthright. So any Moor that has an issue with someone, and if that individual is a foreigner or a foreign corporation, then that's diversity of citizenship, and whatever it is supposed to be dismissed. But Moors battle with this because these people are colonists, and their position is to rob you of your birthright so they can exercise it. They don't want you exercising your birthright while they're exercising your birthright, because it's automatically going to come back to you. So they have to stop you from using it by any means necessary. This is why Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, at the risk of your life, that you defend the Prophet and the movement. So don't look at Moors. What happened when the Moors got locked up? Where were the Moors that were doing the sovereignty crap? Where was the freaking black guys when Martin got locked up? Where's the black guys when Malcolm got locked up? Where are the black guys when they killed Fred Hampton? Where are the black guys? Where are they? So don't bring those arguments, because it's not going to work on Moors, because, you know, we can show you in your own stuff that you even defend the fact that your guys got killed. So don't look at Moors like, you know, we're at some type of fault because we teach a certain thing, and then people who exercise this thing that we teach get into problems that the unconscious people call law enforcement when they're mercenaries and they're colonists. And what they're really doing is Inquisition practices. What they're really doing is the same stuff that they used to do on the plantation, like, oh yeah, Islam to Mantis views again, who should put it on the record what a plantation really, you know, for people who never seen, who only seen it in movies and never seen it for real life. That's a plantation, right? Where they subjugated people on those, using the same Inquisitionist practices, because everybody that they were dealing with was Moors. And it was not good to be Moors around these colonists, because they will take your head, or your neck, or your arm, take your nut sack, whatever. Anything they can get, they'll take. So Drew Ali told the Moors, at the risk of your very life. So, and all the people that got locked up, for the record, even though they're locked up, they're still Moors. And still standing on their nationality and birthright, even though they're locked up. They're not yielding because they're locked up now. No, they're still talking nationality and birthrights to everybody who's up in there. Not only that, every time they go to court, they're still pushing it. And then they're going to get put on some gag order, and then they're going to get their stuff thrown out. And then majority of Moors, because of the suffering that they go through, it's gag order. But trust me, Moors come home. Don't think they kidnap Moors and Moors don't get out. Moors get out. Moors just don't talk about they got out because they can't talk about they got out. Because why? Because people haven't taught nationality and birthrights. So wherever these individuals are at, it's just them. And they're not risking their life to tell some story out here about standing up for birthrights that's gonna fall on deaf ears when they get kidnapped, tied to some railway tracks and stuff like that in some of the places where they live at, where the Inquisition practices are still going on, right? So, and then the other little percent of people are people who, you know, try to play that this is some opportunist BS, get UCC1 and, you know what I mean, buy houses, claim houses and stuff like that, go to court and the judge slap them with 30 years, 40 years because they're taking this information and doing something just for themselves when they know it works and they can do for everybody who has nothing and be a real humanitarian. But nah, they want 55 room mansion for theirself while everybody out here suffering. You expect even European judges are looking at them like you guys are the narcissistic ones that Cujo was talking about in the class. You guys are the ones that we're not giving no passes. Just like the sergeant told Brother Lanre, we know that you're the good ones. It's the ones that are out here doing madness. The ones that want to drive drunk and pull out nationality card. The ones that want to say they have no jurisdiction, but they got bodies in the trunk and stuff like that. Those are the ones that are the problem, right? So the line's already drawn. They already know who's who. What side you on? Are you one in the handful saved? Couple minutes. Why won't these this is anonymous? Why won't these so-called leaders tell us the truth about who we are? Why do they keep selling the people out? Right now look how real it is that somebody's gonna be anonymous, send an email about sellouts and why. That's why. The same reason why you said anonymous is the same reason why. Because if they tell the truth, right? If you come out and say, hey, I'm asking the question, all the guys who you know that whatever like that, come take you out. Exact same thing. Right? If these guys start talking, because they already got handouts and stuff like that, everybody thinks certain people got, right? They already got their handout. Right? A lot of these people are just waiting to croak. But, you know, they can't die. So, you know, that's that. So they're going to have to live with this, what they did. You know? Al Sharpton can't die. Look at him. Like, the preacher guy died before Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton's still around. Like, he was the rat, fat rat. Still around. Jesse Jackson, still around? Like Muhammad Ali's God and these people and Jesse Jackson, yo, these guys can't die. The Queen, still around? It's like little boys that they're sleeping with and all that stuff, sucking, you know, little people's energy. Have these boys twerking and all this type of stuff, jacking their energy. Right? So they don't die, so they can keep their little stuff going on, but you know, once they're gone, it's pretty much over already. It's pretty much over. So keep in mind, right? Keep in mind that there's no way that you can't stand up for your nationality and birthrights now. Like, there's no excuse now. You can't tell me that you don't know that you're Moors by now. You can't still be wondering, are we Moors? You can't still be questioning, are we Moors? Like, you can't. You can't. If you are, you know, maybe you just weren't meant to get it this lifetime. Next lifetime, play your Erykah Badu loud. Right? But you know, your heart's telling you that, you know what? He's actually right, you know. You know what I mean? He's actually right. He is actually right. So if you want some more, if this pill did good, you feel, you know what I mean? You'll energize, feel like doing some research, studying, finding out the Moors and stuff like that. Don't do it yet. You get a break. Alright? So if you haven't been here before, we got class coming up again at 9:30 with Moorish Heritage and History School, where, you know, we talk about everything, nationality and birthrights. Make sure you have your pen and stuff like that. You know, go put the water on, get the tea. You know what I mean? Right? You got speakerphone. Go fill up the tub with the hot water and stuff like that. Get the little petals in there and the essential oils or whatever. And take in your Moorish Heritage and History School Tuesday session, 9:30 p.m. blogtalkradio.com, MHHS, eyes wide open. And it's call-in number, so if you have questions, you know, you can push 1 and all that stuff. 319-527-6751. 319-527-6751. Right? Tune in, call in early, so you can get on. And once again, Islam to all the Moors all around the world that are waking up to the truth about their nationality and birthrights. You know, good job. Continue to study, because this is your birthrights. If you don't know, don't expect anybody else to know for you. Right? Nobody could bling for you. Nobody can put on, you know what I mean, your chapstick for you or whatever. You have to do all that stuff yourself. You're not getting nobody get their fingers on your lips and stuff like that. Here is your birthright. So Islam to all the Moors. Don't forget to tune in. Oh yeah, don't forget, this weekend, we're going to be at House of Consciousness. We're going to be at House of Consciousness this weekend, Virginia. And Moors in Masonry, MoorsCivilLetter.net. Make sure you support. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through His holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam, peace and love.